Have you ever tried to customize a component in your Angular application only to be met with frustrating template parse errors? If that's you, you're in the right place. Today, we're diving into how to override the data table component of PrimeNG and tackle those pesky errors. I totally understand how annoying it can be when you're trying to implement a feature, and instead you get a wall of error messages. You're not alone in this struggle. Many developers face similar issues when working with PrimeNG components. Here's the specific situation we're looking at. A user recently asked, "Why am I getting template parse errors when overriding the data table component of PrimeNG?" They provided their code and mentioned that they have already included the data table module in their app module. Sound familiar? Let's dig into this together. So what could be causing these template parse errors? Often, it comes down to Angular not recognizing certain properties or components that should be available. In this case, it seems like the bindings like p-column headers and p-table body are not being recognized. Let's break it down step by step. And don't go anywhere. I have a crucial tip at the end that will help you avoid these errors in the future. To resolve the template parse errors, the user should first ensure that the necessary modules are imported correctly. Specifically, the user needs to check that the data table module is imported in the app.module.ts file. Next, the user should verify that the myDataTable component is declared in the declarations array of the app.module.ts file. This is crucial for Angular to recognize the component. After confirming the imports and declarations, the user should ensure that the template syntax in myDataTable.component.html is correct. The user should check for any typos or incorrect bindings. If the errors persist, the user should check if the data table module is properly exported from the PrimeNG library. Sometimes, updating the library can resolve such issues. Finally, the user can test the application again to see if the parse errors have been resolved. If the errors are still present, reviewing the console logs for additional clues can be helpful. Did you know? The first version of Angular was released in 2010, and it has evolved tremendously since then. Just like coding, learning is a journey filled with challenges. Now, let's look at the answers provided by other users. This user explains that the template parse errors occur because the selectors you're trying to use, like p-column headers, are not exported by the data table module. They point out that even if you import the data table module, it won't resolve the issue if the selectors are part of the internal structure of PrimeNG. They suggest that to use the p-column headers selector, the data table module would need to export it explicitly. However, they believe this design choice is intentional, indicating that you might be trying to use undocumented selectors that aren't part of the official API. Here's the tip I promised. Always keep your Angular modules organized and double-check your imports and declarations. This habit can save you hours of debugging time. And there you have it. With these steps, you should be able to resolve those template parse errors and successfully override the data table component. If you found this helpful, hit the subscribe button for more tips, and don't miss our next video on advanced PrimeNG features.